What's up, everybody? Welcome to Sean and Tristan DuCross, the Sports Warriors. All rise, right? We will be the honorable Sean and Tristan DuCross of the Sports Warriors tonight because we'll be holding our own court of opinion on the Conor McGregor and the Floyd Mayweather situation. We're coming up in the second part of our show. But in the meantime, we are here to help educate the masses on what true combat sports talk is all about. ACB throws down the gauntlet as they throw down a stacked card. LFA 19 is set. So up first, Sean, before we get to ACB, because it seems like that's where a lot of the fighters are seemingly transitioning to, apparently at the moment. But LFA 19 set to go down, and it has not. I wouldn't say it's not really a weak card by LFA by any stretch of the imagination, but they do have a former UFC fighter on the card. They do have a guy named Kim Porter who is a pro boxer by trade, but is an MMA. And one reason why I just throw that out there is because, well, a lot of talk is about whether or not a boxer can transition over into MMA.
That's been the talk for the longest time about, can a boxer transition to MMA? Are you afraid to make that transition? And everything else. But at the bottom line is that boxers has been coming to MMA for the longest time. So don't expect anything different. So for that transition to happen, it doesn't surprise me. But you're talking about fight cards. We'll get to what you're talking about in just 1 second. You got to talk about the headline fight. You got to talk about the fact that you've got Mershad versus Rodriguez. You got a guy who is a world-class wrestler that is from the UFC, that went 1-2 in his UFC stint, is trying to make a comeback with LFA, and at this point, he's ran off multiple wins. He's 3-2 in the last 5. This guy finishes either on his feet or on the ground. It really doesn't make any difference to him which way it goes. Now you look across the bow and you look at Rodriguez. That guy's one scary dude. The fact that he's 20-6, 12 via knockout, 4 via submission. This kid went pro at 17, dude. So the new matchmakers of LFA is doing things, again, just basically picking up where they left off when they were legacy.
But isn't that where you want to be at this point? You've done 19 shows now underneath the LFA banner. Isn't that along the lines of where you want to be? That you wanted to get back the idea that, okay, we were RFA, we were legacy. You combine the two, and at some point you had to kind of regain your bearings when you're matchmaking and try to set a precedent together to find out which direction you were going to go. Because a lot of matchmakers out there and stuff like that, you look to put shows together, but you don't look to put good fights together. Because you might have your own opinion of who's better or who's not.
You may favor one versus the other.
So when you start looking at these matchups, you really don't want to get into the fact that you have a big, huge gap in talent. And that's what you're seeing on this LFA 19 card, is that the talent is really, really close. 11-3, David McHod versus Rodriguez, who's 20-7. You have Sid Bice versus Kim Porter, who's going.
When I saw Sid Bice, the first thing I went to was Bo Bice is on the card. Wait, what? Really?
But that in itself is a good fight too, because stylistically that matchup makes sense. You got a boxer that wants to stand up. You got a guy that loves to fight on the ground, loves to be a grinder. But Kim Porter has been the one guy that we have always said that evolution is key to be successful in the MMA. It's how do you change your game plan? How do you adapt? This guy loves to adapt on the fly because he has a wrestling background. He has boxing. And he likes to face a guy. If you're going to be a guy that's going to be a wrestler and he knows that you're going to be a takedown, he has one of the best takedown defenses. So make no mistake about it. He's not afraid to stop a takedown to keep it standing.
See, and when you have that ability to be able to shut down somebody's defense or offense by defending a takedown, that's already in your wheelhouse. So at this point in time, you got to figure that this fight benefits Sid Bice, and this is the way that you want to go. I mean, Porter, is that If he can stop the takedown, then that's what you want to do. That's where you want to be because he benefits from the stand-up game a lot more than Bice.
Now, what's interesting about Kim Porter is that this guy wanted to get better. You know how he got better? Went to the best camp in Thailand to get better. Like, if you could spend time at Tiger Muay Thai, the #1 gym in Thailand, are you kidding me? That proves that you want to be better at your craft. You want to hone your craft. That's a guy I don't want to face right now. Because anytime anybody's stepping outside of the box to do something bigger and better, you're going to do something that's going to benefit you in the long run. And that's something that Kim Porter is. And he's a guy that you definitely don't want to miss. But then you got Marcus Edwards and you got Clarence Jordan. These guys combined are talking about putting on the fight of the night, talking about smashing somebody in the face. But everybody's not talking about Edwards. Marcus Edwards, 11 of his 12 victories, Sean, all stoppages. All stoppages. Like, this guy either KOs you or submits you.
See, that's the thing that you're looking on this card. You've got guys that are fighting on this card from the top to the bottom that are like, yo, dude, I'm either gonna knock you out or I'm gonna submit you. Either way, the fights are going to end. You're going to see one of the best LFA cards in quite some time. Is that a bold statement? Sure, it may. But this way may be one of the most fascinating fight cards LFA has put on this time. But you're talking about not talking about certain things. You're talking about people are not talking about. Well, what about the fact that people are sleeping on ACB 67, right? Why is nobody talking about ACB 67, dude? I was looking at this card, I was like, you're talking about LFA 19 being legit? ACB 67 is legit. If you can find a live stream of this, you're going to want to park yourself in front of a computer and not miss this event because of the fact that you've got Brett Cooper versus, bear with me, Muhammad Berkmavov. That was even a mouthful for me, my apologies. But you got Brett Cooper, who people know from Bellator fame, has made a home for himself overseas in Russia, Poland, fighting for KSW. This guy has made his name. He is now the ACB middleweight champion. This guy's been around the globe. He's been there. He's done it. But what was interesting is that you're looking at this and you're like, wait a second. How does this even happen when you've got Muhammad Merkabed, and you're looking at the discrepancies that Cooper has over 20 wins. This kid doesn't even match up to that many wins. So when you look at that fight card and you're like, well, this guy gets around a bit, but yet, why does this kid get a fight? But Brett Cooper, since has held the title since December of 2016. Oh, there it is. Live stream, guys. Go check out our boys Fightbook MMA.
They'll have the live stream for ACB 67.
So you're looking at the stacked card. Denis Gosloff returns to defend his heavyweight title against Vakaev in Grozny. Dennis has ran off 14 wins. 14. 11 of them, dude, stopped them. First or second round finishes. You're talking about finishes in LFA 19? This is going to be a barn burner too. Clifford Starks returns. Clifford Starks, the last time you heard that guy, he fought David Branch in World Series of Fighting.
And put on a heck of a fight only to lose.
So, remember ACB, one of the last showings, they talked about how they were the new big bullies on the block? They want to be the next big thing?
But left a sour taste in people's mouth out here.
They did. But if they continue to do cards like this, that sour taste that they left in the people of Ontario can easily be wiped away. They just got to put their best foot forward. And if they took this card and brought it back to Ontario, That would have been great. That would have been fantastic. It would have been something unique and interesting to see because of the fact of who's on this card.
Dude, Luis Palomino, one of the biggest one of the biggest time fighters in WSOF for how long? Put on incredible fights with Justin Gaethje. Is at ASB 67 versus Yusuf Rasov. Again, when I look at footage and I look at videotape and I'm literally dissecting weaknesses from strength, and I'm trying to figure out who or how this fight could go. And I look at Yusuf being a top Russian prospect at 22 years of age, and versus a 36-year-old who loves to bang with the best of them, is facing a guy that is on a 9-fight win streak. A guy that was on a 9-fight win streak, and it was ended. Then he has a shot to start another one, and it gets Luis Palomino. Luis Palomino's 2-0 against underneath the banner of the underneath the banner of ACB. Why do I want to keep saying American Best Dance Crew when I keep saying it?
Because the abbreviations are very similar.
So when you look at these two guys, Yusuf makes it very clear that he doesn't want to be at Bellator. He doesn't want to be at any other organization but ACB. And has told the world that if UFC called him, he would listen. But right now his focus on ACB, and that's where all the big time fighters are going to start coming because they have the recognition of the best fights. Now, I've seen a couple cards from them. I've seen some bad ones from them. But if they can keep bringing over this talent, I think a lot of people are going to have to start taking them very seriously.
I believe that. I think you're onto something. And Rezov is a mainstay in ACB. You're talking about building talent. You're talking about building your own, basically, clientele, so to speak. This is who they're building around. This is the kid that everybody says you need to keep your eye on. When the fact is that he's finished 7 out of his 10 fights via submission, and then you're going up against Luis Palomino? If Luis Palomino can't stop a takedown, he's going to get submitted.
Absolutely.
Plain and simple.
Absolutely.
The thing with Luis Palomino, he's all in.
He's all go.
100%.
Right?
And if he's all go, and he gets caught, and one of those limbs gets taken, it's over. But that's the unique thing about Luis Palomino. He can either knock you out, take you out, multiple different ways. So if you're Luis Palomino, you're trying to recover. You're trying to keep your status up there. But if you don't, and you go down guns blazing, you may want to think a retirement maybe in your near future.
You need to start thinking about the longevity of your career because Yusuf, Palomino believes that he's the number 1 featherweight in the world. In the world. What does that say about the other featherweights?
How can you be the number 1 featherweight in the world if you couldn't beat Justin Gaethje?
No. Palomino says that Yusuf is the number 1 featherweight in the world.
That's
at 22 years old.
He may get there, but he's got to continue his trend.
See, what's interesting about this card is that you also have a guy that has a 15-fight win streak. A 14-fight win streak, going for 15.
Yeah, that's Dennis Gosselin that I was talking about earlier, defending his titles.
It's ridiculous. Then you look at Dean Garrett, who's on this card versus Magomed. Both of them are trying to get a bantamweight title shot. Magomed is 1-1 against Peter Yan, who is the current title holder. People don't understand how stacked this card is because nobody talks about them.
Because they're foreign to a lot of fight fans.
Yeah, but man, y'all need to start looking outside the box because ACB, man,
they got some
go
barn
to
burners.
Fight Book, get the ACB 67 live stream on there. You don't want to miss this card. Hands down, one of the best, most stacked cards from top to bottom, it is ridiculous at how stacked this fight is. This fight card.
What's ridiculous is what people are thinking about or talking about right now. And that is the fact that Dan Hardy is signed on with UK Sky Sports to broadcast, to be part of the broadcast team for the McGregor versus Floyd Mayweather fight.
After it seems that Brandon Schaub has been cast aside.
Only for the Showtime aspect.
Yes.
And Dan Hardy made it perfectly clear that he's going to be better than what you've got with Brandon Schaub. Because Brandon Schaub, to him, didn't give you the insides, the nitty-gritty of boxing.
Because something that we have always been told is that there's always two sides to the discussion, okay? Yeah. And the issue that I've had, and I've made it perfectly clear on my Facebook when I was watching the media, the thing going on with Conor McGregor and them, is that I wanted to reach right through the screen and slap Brandon Schaub and say, dude, you're a media personality. Stop being biased towards just one way because you're not supposed to.
Stop being a homer.
And there's a lot of people out there that have a combat sports talk show. There's a lot of people out there that do similar things that John and I do, but they are a lot lopsided, a lot one-sided. And it leaves me to wonder, like Dan Hardy said it best, is that if you're a full-time media personality, if you're a full-time person, you need to explain to the masses, okay, well, here is why somebody can win, and here is why somebody else can win. There is always two sides to a story, period.
It's never one-sided, and that's where people get misconstrued with their own opinions, is that they don't realize that it is exactly that, an opinion, a statement, something of which everybody is able to have. Whether you like it or not, that is on you. That is not on the person of their opinion. And that's what we're going to talk about coming up in our court of public opinion. Because that's where we're at right now with everybody's opinion. Let's get offended. But I'm surprised there's no uproar when they heard Dan Hardy was going to be part of the broadcast team, talking about the upcoming fight for McGregor.
But since he's transitioned away from fighting and transitioned into becoming a full-time member of the media, to me, he's been the most canny and insightful person that has been out there.
Outside of Dominic Cruz.
Right.
Who we made perfectly clear. We're not a big fan of Dominic Cruz.
As a fighter.
But, however, as a commentator, he's one of the most intellectual commentators that is out there right now and insightful about what he brings to calling a fight.
Because he makes it perfectly clear, and it's so clear that when he has a mic, that he knows that his job is supposed to be cut down straight down the middle. And Dan Hardy knows that as well too. And that's what I like listening to Dan Hardy when he talks, because he makes very clear and decisions when he is speaking that it makes you actually think about, oh, well, yes, I totally absolutely understand where so-and-so is going with this. And that's what you have to be in the media. You cannot be one-sided. And if you are, sorry, you're going to be on the outside looking in. Everybody has an opinion.
And Dan Hardy being able to distinguish the two, being the fact that he's trained in boxing, that he's had boxers come to his camp, he understands the boxing aspect and MMA aspect, he brings a unique dynamic to this broadcast team that'll be interested to hear how UK Sky Sports sounds calling the McGregor fight. And I say the McGregor fight because you'll hear about what we have to say about McGregor versus Floyd Mayweather. Because there's some new stuff that has come up that I don't think a lot of people have paid any attention to, Tristan.
Because people are sleeping. They see the circus and they ain't looking at the bigger picture. But we are the Sports Warriors. I'm Tristan DuCross. Along my side, as always, is the one and only my partner in crime, Sean DuCross. We are the Sports Warriors. Wednesdays at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, right here on Facebook Live or on YouTube TV. That's where you can find us at. In the meantime, what's coming up next is that once again, we have real talk, real opinions, backed with not only just facts, but our charismatic back and forth. Mayweather-McGregor. That situation is getting very interesting. Court of public opinion will be in session right after this.
You're listening to Sean and Tristan DuCross, the Sports Warriors. Check us out on Facebook Live and YouTube on Wednesdays at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, or you can visit our website at www.DuCrossBrothers.com.
All right, everybody, and we are back. I'm Tristan DuCross. Along my side, as always, my partner in crime, the one and only, Sean DuCross. We are the Sports Warriors. Hit us up on our Facebook, Sean and Tristan DuCross. Go to our website, check all the latest news and rumblings at www.DuCrossBrothers.com. Follow us on Twitter at the DuCross Bros. Heck, you can find us on Facebook, on Facebook, just part of the Fight Book MMA family. We are on there. So if you want to talk combat sports, we got you all day. But Sean, Mayweather, Conor McGregor, the sparring video, was it edit? Was it not? Court of public opinion is in session right now. Please, all rise for the Honorable Sean and Tristan DuCross.
You know, the charges that are being brought against the people are the fact of was Conor McGregor throwing an uppercut? Is that how he's really going to throw an uppercut? Was the video really edited? So those are the two main accusations that are being brought by the people against Conor McGregor.
I want to throw another one. I want to throw the Conor McGregor challenge out there. That stuff that's out there against Conor McGregor.
So the other charge you're basically pulling against the people is the clowning.
Yes.
So you got against the people that they're filing charges against Conor McGregor. So Conor McGregor is filing against the people, the clowning. You got the people going after Conor McGregor for, is that really his technique? Or the fact that, what was the other one I just said?
I have no idea. I drew a blank on the third one.
But yeah, so when you got the people coming after him for either they're clowning him, they're going after him because of how he fights, or showing, or the other one was the charging and the editing of the video. So let's touch on the editing of the video charge that the people are trying to bring against Conor McGregor because of Paul. Okay? Paulie Malignaggi. Okay? This is two sides. Paul Malignaggi, I said since day one, is that he's a little guy that's a little bit of a snake in the grass. He slithers when he needs to.
What was that saying? If it smells like a rat, acts like a rat, must be a rat.
Yeah.
That's Paulie.
Through and through, that is Paulie. I find it thoroughly amusing that people are like, dude, Paulie retired half a decade ago. When he only retired something like 4 months.
5 months ago.
He just had a fight.
You act like because he's out of shape in the sparring video that fool been retired for so long.
Sorry, he
blew up like Ricky Hatton.
There you go. I was just going to say that. Sorry he ate a few little Twinkies. But the bottom line is when you're a two-time IBF champion, it doesn't matter how fluffy you get. You can still put a good game plan together and still beat up on somebody. Ask Ricky Hatton. Go watch some of this guy's YouTubes. The guy is fluffy. But the bottom line is the guy still got quick hands. He can still let it go no matter how fluffy you are. It's just like you can see some guys in the MMA community that teach that are like, well, how is that guy a teacher? It's not about the size you are. It's about the pedigree and the conditioning you still have. Paul Malignaggi was a good fighter. And I say was because you could see towards the end he took a few too many shots. He wasn't the same fighter. Was the video edited? Sure it was. It was only a 22-second edited clip. So yes, I give you the people that, and I agree with you. The video was edited.
Yep.
But it was not edited in the sense that they just pieced it together and said, well, Paulie looked horrible. No, they gave you an edited version of 22 seconds showing a beatdown of Paulie. That's what they showed. That's the only portion that was edited. When you look back at what happened in that video, how can you judge Conor McGregor and a 22-second video that says, oh, did you see his feet? Did you see how he did this? Did you see this? You can't judge that. See, I try to sit here and judge it, but then I realized it is impossible to do so. But yet everybody else is in the field of public opinion. You are well endowed to go ahead and say, you know what? I said that he wasn't in his position to throw punches. He doesn't have technique. That's your opinion. But why is it that you've got X, Y, and Z taking shot after shot at certain people? You are allowed to have your opinion, just like I'm allowed to have my opinion, just like Tristan's allowed to have his opinion. The bottom line about this is stop crying foul because somebody said Conor McGregor looked good. Stop crying foul because somebody said Conor McGregor doesn't have technique.
Stop making fun of him because he's looking like a goofball with whatever he's doing with that uppercut. The uppercut, the practice scene of the side uppercut, whatever it is. Whatever you want to call it. You guys don't... It's so funny that a video comes out and everybody's like, let's pick on that. But last time I checked, did 13 seconds to Jose Aldo say that his technique was poor? When he slipped a punch and caught him with the left?
Right?
Did public of opinion matter when he destroyed Eddie Alvarez on his feet? I think, and this is just me, but I truly believe that Conor plays to the crowd and plays to the world.
Absolutely.
And I say that for a fact that he wants people to talk about him. He wants people to get to the point where if his mouth comes out of if his name comes out of your mouth, then he is winning.
He is.
So by going out there and doing the shenanigans that he is doing, and I say the shenanigans because I've seen all the video now. I've seen him become a laughing stock in the media. I get it. But when I see that, it's like, dude, I can guarantee you that's not how he's going to fight in the ring.
Right? That's the thing is that all these memes about him doing that weird arm warm-up or the weird uppercuts, you do realize that was him warming up. Why are you
him going to be in the actual fight?
Why are you trying to nitpick about him warming up? Like, seriously, guys.
Like, these guys, like, nobody has anything better to do.
I'll give you the benefit of the doubt that the memes of him warming up...
hilarious.
I'll give you that one.
Dude, the meme challenge that has everybody, every MMA fighter out there in the world mocking it. Hashtag winning.
So I'll give you that. I'll give you the mocking of him warming up in that sense. But to make fun of his uppercuts, you do realize that type of movement was him just warming up, right? That was not him actually throwing the uppercut or how he's going to throw the uppercut. You do realize that, right? That is the most comical thing that I have seen on social media.
Like, buying into it.
Yo, guys, pump your brakes, back up, and realize that that's just him warming up.
Did you not realize
that's him, again, like you just said, hashtag winning. You're talking about his uppercuts. It's like we're going down Allen Iverson again. We're talking about practice.
We ain't talking about the game.
We're talking about practice. Seriously. You gotta be kidding me. This guy is winning the court of public opinion. The only thing that people have won is the editing of the video of the 22 seconds.
You know what I want people are talking about Floyd Mayweather's camp is him arguing with his camp about a towel. A towel. We ain't talking about him drinking. I don't know what he was drinking. I think he was drinking some kind of special juice. But the one-handed speed bag going in his camp while he's drinking, is that something better than what Conor did? Or him complaining about a towel? That's not the right towel. Get me my right towel. Are you stupid? Get me the towel. Like, that's what his camp was. And also, at Floyd's camp, there were more people at Conor McGregor's camp than there was at Floyd's camp.
See, and that's the other, again, you want to talk about, again, who's winning court of public opinion. Again, see, court of a public opinion, the number shows Conor McGregor's winning. Because, here, let me educate you. For all the haters and the doubters that say, oh my God, Floyd Mayweather's going to win. Oh my God, you're silly for betting against Conor McGregor.
People are lying to themselves because we are going to end this discussion with a gavel and we are going to end this public opinion because these numbers, they're not fluffed. They're not lying. But based off of our public opinion and us holding the court, y'all must all rise. Because Sean is about to end this conversation.
And we're about to give you the verdict that announces Conor McGregor as the winner. Okay? Williams Hill book, sports betting in Nevada,
which is one of the biggest,
has Conor McGregor right now. 95% of the betting goes into there is for Conor McGregor. For every one bet that Floyd Mayweather gets, Conor McGregor gets 27 bets. Are you kidding me? So you want to tell
those people?
Everybody else wants to sit there and say that you're not voting for Conor McGregor or Conor McGregor's not going to win. Yo, you guys on social media are lying to yourselves. You, the people, just lost to Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor just won the court of public opinion.
And here, all rise, the honorable sports warriors. The verdict is in. And the fans, you're guilty. It's that simple. More with the sports warriors coming up right after this. We have boxing news going worldwide. Top rank? Why y'all sleeping on boxing? More with the sports warriors coming up right after this with your boys, Sean and Tristan DuCross.
You're listening to Sean and Tristan DuCross, the Sports Warriors. Check us out on Facebook Live and YouTube on Wednesdays at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, or you can visit our website at www.DuCrossBrothers.com.
All right, everybody, we are back. We are the Sports Warriors. I'm Tristan DuCross. Along my side, as always, is my partner in crime, Sean DuCross. Sean, guilty verdict is in. The people lost to Conor McGregor. It's that simple.
So will Floyd Mayweather fall the same victim? Will he fall to Conor McGregor? That's the question. That's the next one that comes up next week.
August 26th.
That's the one that everybody's waiting to see. What was interesting is today it was announced that Conor McGregor and Floyd Mayweather will fight in 8-ounce gloves on only two conditions. One, that at the end of the fight, both fighters' gloves go to be inspected by scientists to make sure there was nothing illegal about it. So you're looking at it, it's like, all right.
And Conor McGregor is trying to figure out how in the world he can give Floyd 2 rounds at 8-ounce gloves. You understand that Floyd hasn't knocked out anybody in 20 years. And with 4-ounce gloves, Conor knocks out people with his left. This does not bode well at all.
It doesn't bode well at all for Floyd Mayweather. You're correct in that sense. Because of the fact that when you look at it and it's like, really? You're going to give me 8-ounce gloves. 4 ounces more than what I'm used to fighting. How is it that at the end of the day, you're going to give me more leverage? You're going to give me more opportunity to bounce your head off the canvas. Yo, if I'm Floyd Mayweather, see, Conor McGregor is doing exactly everything that we've said. If we could draw it up, people, we could not have drawn it up any better than what we've done. We could not have placed it any more clear in front of you people. Okay? Conor McGregor putting on a show got you to talk about it. Conor McGregor got 8-ounce gloves. Conor McGregor says he'll find it hard to give him 2 rounds. Conor McGregor has done everything
he has ever said he was going to do.
Y'all forgetting this.
The only thing anybody can talk about bad about him was that he got tapped out by Diaz. But other than that, 98% of the stuff that he has said he is backed up?
You know,
how many times has Floyd backed up his mouth?
Right?
Like 49-0, and half those people he hasn't really fought anybody that is
or the fact that out of 49-0
after peak of time.
Out of the 49-0, out of the 49 wins, he's fought 3 guys multiple times.
Also, don't forget that, well, he fought Manny Pacquiao. Pacquiao passed his prime. Well, he fought Oscar De La Hoya. Passed his prime. See a common theme when you ultimately think about putting greats in front of him? Oh, wait, you got to put them in front of him past his prime.
Or before their prime, when it comes to Canelo. He fought Canelo when Canelo was just a puppy. He wasn't even wet behind the ears. His legacy of Floyd Mayweather is tarnished. Great, bravo, dude. You're 49-0. You're one of the best fighters in the history of the game.
I get it.
But at the bottom line is the fact is that your record is fluffed. But people are too afraid to make that statement
because they see a big old 49-0. But again,
it's like to me when I have the discussions about, oh, so and so is great. Is Tom Brady great?
People throw around that word so easy nowadays.
Absolutely. When they say Tom Brady's great. No, Tom Brady is one of the best. He's one of the elite guys in the NFL. But is he great? No. Want to know why he's not great? It's because of the fact he's fought in the same system for over a decade. He hasn't had to learn new
systems.
All he had to do was try to make sure that his guys were in the same spot. That's all he had to do. He's good at what he is. He's an elite quarterback. He's a Hall of Fame quarterback. Is he really great? No. Now, if you ask me, is Peyton Manning great? Absolutely. Because he went from being a system quarterback to winning multiple Super Bowls underneath different coordinators. That made him great. Floyd Mayweather had the opportunity that was presented with him to avoid elite fighters at their prime time.
Here's another thing. Is LeBron James great at what he does? No. Why? Because he left Cleveland, he cried, left Cleveland, joined the Big Three, won multiple championships underneath other people's tutelage because he couldn't do it by himself. Fast forward, go back to Cleveland. Oh, wait. He needed other pieces to make him great because he couldn't do it by himself. But he's great because he's won championships. Championships don't make you great. It's about how you get there that makes you great.
And that's how
Michael
Conor
Jordan,
McGregor,
greatest basketball player of all time. Why? Because he did it by himself with the pieces that he had surrounding him. He made the pieces around him better.
Kobe Bryant did the same thing for years.
People hate Kobe Bryant. I absolutely despise Kobe Bryant. But the reality is, he had Shaquille O'Neal.
But he still, with just Shaquille O'Neal,
they won championships.
And he still was able to accomplish what people couldn't do.
Once Shaq left.
He didn't go out and say, oh, I need the big three. He went out and did what he needed to do. Conor McGregor said he was going to knock out Jose Aldo.
He did it in 13 seconds. Said he was going to smash Eddie Alvarez. He did it. Said he was going to take out Chad Mendez. He did it.
So, why is it that people are so up in ears about Conor McGregor says he's going to knock out Floyd Mayweather? He may very well. And guess what?
And after that fight, Sean, we might see a polyverse Conor McGregor fight.
Maybe. But you know what? If I'm right, if we're right, I'm going to be hitting up our boys from Fightbook MMA to create a meme about the people. Just saying. Because I'm not afraid to admit that if I'm wrong about this and Conor McGregor loses, it is what it is. But if Conor McGregor...
No problem eating crow.
And I'll come back next week and explain to you how I was wrong. I'll be the first one to rise up, stand up and say, yo, dude, I was wrong. My bad.
Man, I missed that on the boat.
My apologies. I failed. I'm not going to be afraid to do that. But best believe...
We're not running away.
When it's written right there in front of you and you're just too naive to see it, that's on you. But don't hate and don't cry at the end of the day.
Because we already know why Floyd Mayweather may win, but nobody knows why Conor McGregor might win.
So that's the only reason why we're talking about Conor McGregor, not Floyd Mayweather. This is what Floyd Mayweather does. This isn't what Conor McGregor does. People need to...
So we're giving you an understanding
and an education
about why. Just don't sleep on the other guy. It takes two to fight. There are two fighters, not one fighter in this fight.
Everybody has a chance when it comes to fighting.
And see, and that's what goes on at Top Rank Boxing, is that Julius Indongo believes that he has a shot against Terence Crawford.
When you are a 2-division champ, IBF and WBA junior welterweight champion, going against the WBO, WBC junior welterweight champion.
For the first time, a true unification fight. 4 titles.
So if you're
2 of them from each part.
If you're Julius, you've got to like your chances. You have to understand that what's being presented in front of you.
Court of public opinion says Julius Indongo has absolutely no shot against
that Terence Crawford is the elite guy. Terence Crawford is being compared as being the next American fighter since Ray Leonard in terms of popularity, the ability that he has. He's right up there. He fights similar to the way that Sugar Ray Leonard did. Fights on the inside. Throws heavy punches. This guy has everything that you want in a fighter. But Julius Indongo brings you that uniqueness, that quirkiness. He's a southpaw.
Yeah, he is.
Southpaws are one of the most unique guys in how to defend them and how to be able to avoid their strike.
You don't see them often, which Terence Crawford has not had the opportunity to face. That's a problem in itself. And Terence Crawford, I mean, there's been talks for years about Terence Crawford, about him moving up to 147. And now with Top Rank and ESPN being together, Sean, you look at 140 being a kind of like a okay division at this point. Moving up to 147 for him, I don't think that's the best shot because who are you going to face? Jesse Vargas? Who are you going to face? The winner of Joe Horn versus Manny Pacquiao?
Now you have me saying, who are you going to call? The Ghostbusters?
Dude, at this point,
cue up the theme song. Cue up the theme song.
Because 147 at Top Rank is weak. Like, this isn't PCB, Premier Boxing Championships. This isn't them.
But what's interesting is that, again, they put on a legit card on ESPN showcasing a fighter of their choosing. In Terence Crawford, he was acknowledged as the pound-for-pound top junior welterweight after he beat Victor Postol. Once he beat them, everybody's like, remember this guy. Then you look at the fact that he holds 2 premier sanctioning titles. He also holds the lineal title. When you look at it and you see what's going on, this is the second time where
Blake in the chat room says that Crawford actually beat a southpaw in an Olympic 1, and now he's starting to change his stances on what works against opponents. Okay, so fair enough, but again, he's facing a guy named Julius Indongo, and that's what I had in my nose was the fact that I was going to get to that eventually. But when you look at Crawford, his style is essentially that he likes to study his opponents. He likes to be patient. So if Indongo has any opportunity to beat Crawford, he has to get in and get off early. If he doesn't get in and get off early, then it's going to benefit Crawford. That's exactly what Blake is saying in this sense, is that
He likes to change his stances. Yeah, because he focuses and goes, okay, well, this guy's doing this. I can do this. That's what makes Crawford this boxer that is being compared to Sugar Ray Leonard. When Sugar Ray Leonard went against Hearns and everybody else in his era, he wasn't a guy you could stylistically... You cannot go against him and think, you know what? This is what you're going to get from him. You don't know what you're going to get from Crawford. All you know, he's going to come after you. He's going to unleash his version of hell. Whether you can withstand that is completely different. So, him fighting against somebody that was a southpaw in the Olympics gives him the edge in this. But then again, has he fought somebody that is the caliber of Indongo? The quirkiness, the awkwardness, the guy that can fight either on the inside or the outside of a fight. That is the question.
And nobody's giving Indongo any shot. Any shot.
Because unfortunately, when you're looking at... It's just like Loma.
I always find it funny that nobody gives anybody a shot just because this guy's a world champion. He has 2 titles. Is that a fluke that he won 2 titles? No. Like, you don't just get gifted a title in boxing. You literally get ran through the ringer, regardless of the popularity of the fighter or the quality of the fighter. You still have to fight a champion to become a champion at some point.
And the thing about Terence Crawford taking this fight was to prove without a shot of a doubt he's one of the best.
And he believes he is well prepared for this fight. And he is going to against all the odds. And he believes that come ESPN on TV, he will show the world that he is better than Crawford.
It's going to be one of those things that you have to watch it on ESPN. You have to. It'll be like the Pacquiao versus Horn fight. You're going to be glued to your seat and wanting to see this fight.
Does this end like a Pac-Man Horn fight?
Does this go to the distance?
And
well,
again,
on paper, it's got to be Crawford that wins the fight.
Right. Because, again, this is a Pac-Man versus Horn fight.
Crawford is
Pac-Man. Julius Indongo is clearly Horn in this aspect.
And I can completely see that.
So if this goes to the judges, do we again have another situation with Top Rank and ESPN and the judges that come game time, at the end all, you're looking at Indongo standing top?
Well, it'll be interesting because both of them are going into this fight to change the record books. That's what they're looking to do here. Because of the fact that it's the second time 2 champions are going to face off with 4 major titles on the line. Only this twice that a fighter has a chance to hold all 4 belts in the division. That is a uniqueness in this aspect of the fight. The only fighter to ever hold all 4 sanctioning major titles at the same time was Jermaine Taylor when he defeated Bernard Hopkins.
Throwing it way back.
So you're looking at this. You just want to see this fight for the ramifications that may come from at the end of it. That you're going to see a guy hold the WBO, the WBC, the IBF, the WBA, junior welterweight titles, running 4 weight division classes.
That's the one thing that
He'll be the king of the welterweights.
For years, we have been saying, in order for boxing to become relevant again, you need to start unifying these titles.
Absolutely.
There are so many titles out there. You need to start unifying them. The first up, Terence Crawford, Julius Indongo on free TV.
So if you don't know who they are, you're going to want to know who they are now.
Pay attention. And then we had what we classified as a great opportunity, and we thank our angel, Worldwide MMA.
Yeah, we didn't get a chance to talk about this last week because of the fact that, unfortunately, we couldn't do our show last week.
Because Sean had some daddy duties to do.
Not just daddy duties. What are you talking about? I had to go buy a new couch because a cat pissed on it.
Wow, thank you for that.
So, Unfortunately, I had to go run around and get a new couch because the cat chose to piss on. So that's why we didn't do our show last week. So this week we wanted to touch on the opportunity that we had our first commentating experience at Archangel Worldwide MMA amateur promotion out here in Riverside. It was a pleasure. We got to do it with Michelle Manu, one of the legendary women that we know that does a lot in the martial art community. So it was one of those things that it was a unique experience. We have fun. We're looking forward to doing it. Unfortunately, we can't let the
cat out of the bag.
But we'll be doing it again.
Some opportunities coming our way.
We plan on doing it again. It was quite different from doing our show here versus doing commentary. You had to kind of change it up a little bit and understand new cadences about when to call certain things. So there's a couple rough spots there, but the more we do it, the better we get, the more we understand certain things. So it was a pleasure to be part of the Archangel group, and it was a pleasure to be given the opportunity to call our first fight. Couldn't ask for a better opportunity.
Absolutely. And like you said, we didn't have as many rough spots as we thought we were going to have. And all the reports that came out of it was that we were good. They loved it.
It was very positive.
They loved the fact that we had feedback on most of the fighters, which they said that they haven't quite heard in a while. So that made us feel good because we were well prepared. But yeah, we got other opportunities coming up. But Archangel Worldwide MMA, we can't say thank you enough. And we look forward to working with them again. In the meantime, we're the DuCross Brothers. We're the Sports Warriors. We do this every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You can follow us, Sean and Tristan DuCross, on Facebook. Just go ahead, friend us. We have no problem with talking combat
We
sports,
don't bite.
Right? We're even with Fightbook MMA. You can talk to us over there. Call us out. We can talk to you over there. Follow us on Twitter.
Yeah, don't be afraid to call us out. We'll go ahead and step up to the plate and have an interesting conversation because, again, like we said, court of public opinion. Nobody needs to get booty tickled over somebody's opinion. Enjoy talking combat sports. Don't be afraid.
Go to our website at www.ducrossbrothers.com. Friend us. Like our page at Twitter at the DuCross Bros. Until next time, I'm Tristan DuCross. That's Sean DuCross. We are the Sports Warriors.